This is the COMA Girl Daily Podcast, written by Stephanie Bond. November 22nd, Tuesday. 22,713. 22,714. The door opened, and it took me a minute to realize my mom had walked inside, because she's not talking on the phone or walking fast or nursing the cup of coffee that has become her power accessory. "Hello, Marigold." She sounds wistful and tired and a little buzzed. I can smell the faint scent of the red wine she buys from Trader Joe's, so that means she drove here from home without my dad. The fact that she settled into the guest chair Audrey had used last night to climb to her suicide attempt without insisting on a replacement tells me she's on a mission. And I can tell from her subdued mood that she wants to tell me something. And my first thought goes to what the doctors had said about keeping me alive until the end of the month, which is fast approaching. Is she going to tell me I'm dying? "I don't know if you can hear me," she began, "but the doctors say to speak as if you can. I need to tell you something, and even though this probably isn't the best timing, I want to tell you before I lose my nerve." Okay, now I'm worried. "Before you were born, your father and I were having some problems. Mostly money problems, but other things too. Around the time Dad had taken 25 grand from the safe to pay off gambling debts and blamed the missing money on a burglar. Anyway, like I said, we were having some problems, and there was this man I met and liked." My mind is jumping all around and ahead, and I don't like where it's landing. "We had an affair." Holy chastity belt! My mother had an affair? I no longer believe the world is round. And I'm throwing the whole gravity thing out the window too. And I became pregnant. Wait, that would be me. Shortly after that, the man was killed in a tragic amusement ride accident. What? How horrible and random. Your father never knew about the other man, and that's the way I'd like to keep it. She sighed. But I look back at your childhood, Marigold, and I realize I might have taken my guilt out on you, and that was wrong. So those elusive feelings I had when I was young about being at the center of my family's discontent were valid. I felt like the outsider because I was the outsider. I want you to know I've always loved you just as much as Alex and Sydney. Maybe more, because you remind me of him. He was an independent thinker and marched to the beat of his own drum, and so do you. And if I ever made you feel less than Alex or Sydney, I'm so sorry. You should never feel inferior to anyone. You are as unique and special as the name I gave you, and Her voice broke. "I love you so much." I don't know what to think or feel, except to marvel over her revelations and try to let them sink in. Mom made an anguished noise. "I wish you could talk to me. I wish I knew what you are thinking. If you can hear me, I want you to remember how much your father adores you and loves you. Robert would be wounded if he thought you didn't consider him to be your father." Of course he's my father. Dad is Dad. "Robert is such a dear man." She's crying again. "I haven't been fair to him. I blamed him all those years for being distant and driving me into the arms of another man. But I made that choice. I'm going to make things better at home for all of us, including your baby." A mental weight rolled off me because I've been feeling like the straw that was going to break my parents' marriage, when in truth, they'd both harbored corrosive secrets that had eaten away at their relationship. Maybe things could be better now. but there's still Sydney to contend with. And I'm so conflicted over everything that's happened, I just don't know how this is going to turn out.
Hello, this is Stephanie Bond, author of the COMA Girl Daily podcast. It's getting good, isn't it? Poor Marigold, at the mercy of dysfunctional family and friends. How frustrating. Have you ever known anyone who was in a coma? Share your story in the Facebook group for COMA Girl fans. The link is in the show notes, along with links to some of my other projects. Thanks so much for listening.